Thank you to our partners at Complete Kids for partnering with our platform and sponsoring this episode. Complete Kids is a Gaston County born and Belmont headquartered organization that specializes in behavioral, occupational, physical, and speech therapy for children. So if you're someone who's actually wanting to continue or begin your career in children's therapeutics, and we have opportunities for you at Complete Kids. There are careers right now for you to explore, from getting started all the way to a board certified behavioral analyst and everything in between, and being able to not only give back to the next generation of children, but continue to call Belmont your home. Complete Kids has received approval from Belmont City Council to occupy the old Belmont Middle School and will be occupying in 2023. So if you want to call the Belmont Middle School your office and be a part of this culture, giving back to the next generation of children and still having the opportunity to be in our community, then visit CompleteKids.com and select the Careers tab. Thank you again for your partnership, Complete Kids. Back to the episode. Cheers to Thirsty.
Your equipment, yeah.
Right, cheers right over the equipment. But Thirsty Social Club, many of you that are listening or actually know this location know it as Thirsty Dog Social Club. But there's been a rebranding, and let's start with that, Jay. Why the branding or the change in the brand to Thirsty Social Club, which I love, by the way. I do enjoy the brand.
We needed to...
Welcome back to the Building Belmont podcast, or welcome to the Building Belmont podcast. If this is your first time, then you're in for a treat. We're going to have a beer and have a conversation with an influential business owner and pioneer, truly a pioneer. And listen, we're going to learn why you are a pioneer in Belmont, specifically North Belmont, which I'll let you share the name since you helped to coin it a little bit later on. But we're here at Thirsty Social Club with Jay Pithwa, and we are able, did I get the name?
You did. You got
the
spot
name.
on.
My name is Keanu Trujillo, but it's Keanu Trujillo, but I don't pronounce it like that. Only my dad pronounced it like that. So
I was
I'm
going to
always
say, how
mindful.
many people actually pronounce it like it's supposed to be?
Nobody. It's Trujillo.
Okay.
You know, Trujillo.
Okay.
It's not like that. Anyway, I'm mindful of people's names. I want to be respectful of people's names. But Jay, thank you for having us over. Thank you for having a beer with us. And if
thanks
you're
for the opportunity, let's do a little cheers.
Cheers.
Yep.
Cheers to
Watch out for
Thirsty.
your equipment. Yeah.
Right, cheers right over the equipment. But Thirsty Social Club, many of you that are listening or actually know this location know it as Thirsty Dog Social Club. But there's been a rebranding, and let's start with that, Jay. Why the branding or the change in the brand to Thirsty Social Club, which I love, by the way. I do enjoy the brand.
We needed to appeal to a broader audience. We have a lot of misconceptions that we're a dog bar where you have to have a dog to be able to come to the bar. And we just want to tell people that we're a lot more than that. It's also the second phase in an expansion where we're trying to open up new locations in North Carolina and beyond. So with the Thirsty Social Club, kind of throwback to the 1920s with Prohibition and everything else, and with our possible speakeasy coming soon, it just all ties everything in.
Wow. There's a lot of nuggets in there. Expansion, multiple locations, speakeasy. There's a lot going on around
and
here.
there's even more. But
Well, take me back to the beginning. How did Thirsty Dog originally come to be? And, you know, even maybe beyond that, or if it fits into that, your story of becoming an entrepreneur, getting into entrepreneurship, because I know this is not your first endeavor. Many would be familiar with Taste Buds Popcorn in downtown Belmont, which is also your business.
Absolutely, yeah. And I guess if this podcast is going to last 3 hours, let's go ahead.
Let's go. More beers, please.
No, I mean, it'll be almost 11 years for Taste Buds Popcorn. This is a pet project I've been working on the side. This is originally a brownfield site that the EPA designated as not something that a lot of people want to tackle. We own some commercial property across the street, and this has been an eyesore for over 20 years, just empty, falling apart, a lot of vagrants going in and out, just something that we needed to change. Now, we've been in the community a long time, me and my business partner, Gene Kropfelder, and we felt like this would be a nice step to kind of establish a footprint. And again, there's North Belmont, there's nothing wrong with the area, but I wanted to kind of give it a nice, healthy rebrand. So NoBel just comes from North Belmont. We've got 26,000 square feet of this building. We're only occupying 5, so plenty of space available for hopefully breweries, distilleries, like-minded businesses. They're going to add to our collective and vision to make this a destination.
26,000 square feet. So One, we're definitely going to get to a call to action. There are some people out there that, maybe they want to start a business in Belmont. And we really do believe in creating connections. Someone's going to be listening to this at some point. Now, we hope that by the time, let's say a few years down the road, someone's listening to this, the vision's been realized and all of these spaces are full. But they may not be. So they can contact you. They may not know that there's opportunity out here. So we're hoping to help to build that brand in NoBel. And, here in Belmont, downtown Belmont, obviously being the crown jewel, you have a business in downtown Belmont, nothing wrong with that. I really admire your vision to say, but what about that? So you said the word brownfield site?
Yeah, it's a term used by the EPA for a site that was previously contaminated. So 35 years ago, there was an issue with a dry cleaner, but obviously it's been dealt with. We've done all the phase 1 and phase 2 studies to make sure the ground is viable for what we want to do, of course, because I have our kids and our pets and everything out here. So, it's 100% safe, and it has been safe for over 20 years. But I don't know. No one's really, saw the vision. I don't know if it's a vision or just we're taking a huge gamble, but I feel that we are doing great in our timeline. Yeah. I wouldn't. There's nothing so far that's gone wrong that we would have to say, oh, I wish we could have done this. Wish we could have done this. Obviously, COVID was a big non sequitur. It kind of slowed down some things, but again, we still survived through COVID. I mean, we opened during COVID, which is probably the worst time to open since Prohibition itself. Yeah. But we're still making it through.
What was your opening date exactly?
December 18th, 2020.
Wow.
There was like one of the toughest parts was getting our alcohol license, and the place in Raleigh, you could used to go and take your paperwork and literally get it stamped within a few hours. Yeah. No one was in the office, and they were saying, oh, it will take months. So, I'm not going to drop any names, but I had a buddy in the FBI, called him, was like, hey, could you possibly help? And, things worked out. Yeah.
Good. Yeah. Okay, no, so yes, 12/18/2020, the pandemic hit about March. Was there any thought to delay, or would you have opened earlier had the pandemic not struck, or was that always the target date?
No, we would have opened up like ASAP, but with new mandates in place, having certain amount of people inside, certain amount of people outside. Luckily, we're blessed with so much outdoor space. I mean, we are the largest outdoor private space in all of Gaston County.
Wow.
So we have 5,000 square foot inside, but then we also have, so much outdoor space. It's all fenced in for dogs and families, and with the volleyball courts and the restaurant now, it's definitely a destination venue that we're trying to add to the mix.
All right, so for those of you that are listening, we are here at the bar, and we hope that you'll join us for a drink. The way that this is set up is that if you're watching on YouTube, then you would say, hey, we're having a drink together, getting to know Jay's story. And I was telling Jay, before we got started, that this is a conversation that if others wanted to know your story, it'd be very inefficient to have, 15,000 conversations and 15,000 beers. Although, in my time with you, you'd welcome it. It would just take
Absolutely.
a long time.
Yeah,
so we want to have the conversation, and you as the listener and the viewer and fellow citizen, I mean, this is just Belmont. You can find either of us anytime, probably here. Being able to get to know your story, I think that it's very interesting that in 2020, you still decided to start anyway. What did that feel like, saying, okay, do we start? When do we get started? Obviously, there were some delays. But even in December of 2020, that was still, now we know, the height of the pandemic. I started my first business in June of 2020. And for a while I said in the middle of the pandemic. Now I know that was the beginning still.
No, it was, we had loans. We had a timeline. We had goals we had to meet. We also had a vision we had to try to fulfill. Some of the harder things were with our architects and planners and designers and getting permits. But Gaston County was amazing in helping us through all the hoops and hurdles, if you can say so. And, other than the pandemic itself, the timeline, was pretty accurate.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So being able to jump into it then and actually get open, get launched, obviously there was a need for creativity.
Absolutely.
In the pandemic. You mentioned you have a lot of outdoor space. So now there's a lot that you do to actually invite the community in. There are volleyball courts. There's a big outdoor space that you're planning to activate. Tell me about all that you have going on here at Thirsty Social Club, because there's a lot to be involved, especially
the beer club.
The beer club.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Well, let's start there. Tell me about the beer club. And if you're watching, again, you need to be watching these episodes because they're epic when you get to watch them.
I love the beer club because we're a pet friendly destination. We do not want glass around the facility because you imagine a glass break-in and your little dog running over it, right? So we kind of typically serve out of plastic cups for all our beer and craft drinks and everything. But with the beer club, you can actually have your own mug. It's going to have a number assigned to you. It's going to have a quote that you can put on there and customize. And every time you come to the bar, they will pull your cup and you can drink from it. The nice thing about the cup is it's a British pint. You know, maybe from England originally, it's a 20 ouncer. So you actually get 20 ounces instead of the American 16. No offense to the 16 ounce American pint.
Wait a minute.
But this is more free beer, right? Like who doesn't want that?
Yeah.
And it's your cup forever. We're a couple of hundred cups by now, and we just started about just over a year ago.
That's an awesome idea. So the English pint is 20 ounces. The American pint is 16 ounces.
Absolutely. Yep.
I think that we need to change that. I mean, we have to at least go to 21 now, right?
Yeah, but there's you can also buy a drink legally in England at 17. So there's a lot of other little steps along the way.
So you can get more beer earlier.
Yes.
In England.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sounds like a nice place.
It's a nice place. A little overcrowded now. The weather sucks, but you couldn't really pay me to go back. But we love this place.
Yeah.
We love Belmont.
I felt like an instant, maybe it was pride or even like anger when I realized that England has a larger pint than America. I mean, I literally, Jay, I have an American flag tattooed into my skin. I served for a while.
And I have a British flag.
What is this?
So there you go. Right?
All right.
My arm's not as big as Keanu's, but
if 20 people come in here and they purchase to be a part of the beer club and they say Building Belmont sent me, we will arm wrestle and we will record it.
And we'll give them 20% off their cup.
Oh, look at that.
There you go.
20% off your cup.
Yep, exactly.
Very good.
Yep.
Well, we're going to have to recap that at the end. I think it's a great call to action. But
right.
No, Jay, I really enjoyed. We got to spend some time even before recording today. I came in, we had a beer early on because I wanted to get to know, more of your story and how this came to be. And so there's a lot that really is not only in the name a social club. You really are about creating community.
So we've done a lot of things that I think the community has gathered around us and have supported us. So right now we do have the bar. We are going to possibly do a speakeasy. We're even thinking about opening a brewery in here. But we have the volleyball courts. We have craft beer. We have wine. We have craft cocktails. We also have the restaurant component. So if I can touch on that real quickly.
Of course,
that's,
please.
Gabe, who owns the Bottle Tree in downtown, one of the best restaurants that you'll find within a 50-mile radius, has his food out here, and it's a little different from the Bottle Tree as far as you don't have to make reservations, but it's of the same caliber, So there's some amazing food choices from a spicy chicken, Korean noodle bowl, to the wings that we have. We'd actually have a Blanton bourbon recipe flavored wings, right?
Wow.
A limited edition on those. But the other part in amongst all of this other stuff is we have about 2 acres in the back, and we are going to build a performance stage. We are going to have picnic tables and fire pits. And when volleyball's off season, we are going to have a ton of events outside. So whether it's a chili cook-off or a wine tasting or, you name it. We could do a jumbotron and hold movies out there on the sand and bring a picnic blanket and enjoy movies on the beach. It's unlimited, right? So we like the flexibility. Now, we get approached by people every day wanting to use the rest of our space for something industrial or a cabinet building or this and this. And although those are noble pursuits, we have to stick to our guns because we really want to make this the destination that we vision for everybody to come and spend a whole half day out here.
So it really is about overall connection and community, and even the businesses. The initiatives you mentioned. There's a volleyball. Do you have a volleyball league here? So
SportsLink, if a lot of people are familiar with VBGB in Charlotte, they're the same guys that own and run those courts. So they have leagues and free play and all kinds of things out here, and you just have to go to their websites and sign up. But if you come here on a pretty decent day, it's packed. There's volleyball players that will drive 45 minutes. We actually have to. I've been told this. Now I'm not a volleyball player, anymore. But we have the best sand within several hundred miles. We have the best lights also. And then the fact that you can bring an alcoholic beverage or a sports drink, we're not forcing people to drink beer, onto the courts, which is nice. We also have a separate shower to get all your sand off your person. And again, with the food component, it makes a big difference. Yeah.
So is the volleyball league going on right now? Like if someone's listening to this now in November, December, can they join?
They can, but I believe it winds down Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Yeah. Now we do get those bursts during the winter time where it's still going to be an 85, 90 degree day. And I'm sure they'll put up something for some kind of free play or some tournament or something like that.
Well, you mentioned Thanksgiving and, of course it's fall. So I'm thinking football and I'm looking out at the volleyball courts right now. Can those nets come down and do like a sand football game in there?
Oh, you can do anything you want. It's literally anything. I think it was 25 tons of sand, 100 tons of gravel. There's unlimited usage of that space there.
Okay, let's set it up. Let's do some kind of football game in the fall. We'll make it happen. There's going to be a lot of collaboration coming out of building Belmont and Thirsty Social. Listen, trust me.
Well, and that's the thing too, because we're community centric. We want people to we're in our early stages, so we still have time to say, hey, let's change this. Let's change this. Hey, everybody, we've got 100 people asking for this. Versus our conception of the 2 people using this, so we can change and adapt to trends and styles and things out there before it gets too late. We're not a big giant corporate. It's just a couple of guys that want to do something good for the community.
Yeah, and we're going to get to hear from Gene here in a little while. I can't wait to hear from him as well. What are some of the things that you're hearing from the community that they would like? I mean, obviously, there's a lot that you're doing now that, honestly, I haven't experienced anyone in Gaston County or even Charlotte for that reason, for that matter, doing any of it. What are some of the other things you're hearing from the community that they'd like?
To me, it's insane. We've got all this new furniture inside, and we've got the little tables and chairs, and we've got the couches, but no one's inside. Everybody wants to be outside. So when we can cultivate, of course, it's on the budget. When we can afford to finish our vision of the backyard, and we've got the fire pits and the picnic tables. We've even going to borrow some ideas from Highland Brewing with these cool tents that they have with little picnic tables inside, and then the performance stage. I think it's just going to be another reason for people to come out, spend time with their family. Kids are welcome here. We're also the only club that, if you go to any other dog bar anywhere in Charlotte or really anywhere in the country that I know of, you got to be 21. Well, I've got an 11-year-old. That sucks if she can't come to the bar. So we've made it family friendly. And because of that, we've got some on-leash areas and off-leash areas. So everybody can come. There's no reason why you couldn't come.
I've always been curious, and now I finally have the man in front of me that can answer. When I've gone to dog bars in Charlotte, the dogs always have to be off the leash in a certain area. Why is that? Like when they're around each other?
Oh, it's insane. Yeah. So it's a psychological thing with the dogs. If they see another dog held down or captive, they will go nuts. So they want to see all the dogs free.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. I have a English Mastiff, Lulu, and she's not vicious at all. She loves other dogs.
Yeah.
But she's kind of like me. Like when I get really excited, I look angry. She looks angry. And so she'll charge, at the other dogs because she's so happy to see other dogs, but she doesn't know that she actually looks very vicious.
Oh yeah.
And so we've taken her out to one before, and it was really like iffy at first because she was so excited, and then she calmed down. She started running around having fun. Yeah. But it took a minute, to her to adjust. So I was always curious why that was a thing.
Yeah, no, we have a lot of people out here that like say, oh no, my dog's an a-hole. We can't bring it out here. This and this. I'm like, dude, just how about you start off in the on-leash area, keep the dog on the leash, and then, it's kind of blocked from the off-leash area, but then go into the off-leash, try for 5 minutes, try for 10 minutes, and every single time the dog socializes. Yeah. Because that's what dogs want to do. They want to run in packs. I mean, their DNA comes from a wolf, right?
Yeah.
So they're pack animals, and it's what's funny to me is like if you've got 5 dogs out here, you can hear a little bit of barking and stuff like that, but as soon as there's 10, 20, 30 dogs out here, it's silent. There's more punters talking about stuff and drinking beer and all that stuff, the noise, than dogs barking. They're just having fun.
Sorry, what was the word you used?
Punters. Yeah.
What's that?
It's just an old English name for people that enjoy themselves.
Wow. Yeah. Punters.
You're going to learn some stuff in this podcast too. So yeah.
I'm going to use that. Punters. Cheers. We're punters today.
I'm so nervous about doing it.
I know, me too, but I keep going for it anyway. This beer is almost empty, so it's fine.
Okay.
No, she's fine. We thank you. So was it the hospitality? Wanting to fill up another beer. We even have Zach behind the camera enjoying himself. We're having a good time over here. Trust me. So we have the beer club, but there's also I want to say a sister to that. There's a neighbor to that.
Yes.
The wine club.
Absolutely.
Tell me about the wine club.
So the wine club and cocktail club. So with the wine club, similar premise. You get your own cup. It's your cup. It's got your name on it, your number, and then your quote. And every time you come here, we're going to be building up the wine club to represent, right now with the beer club, once a month, we'll have a representative from a brewery come out and do lots of fun activities, give away free swag and all that kind of stuff. So that's really nice. And then we do an annual party too for beer club and wine club members. So that's really cool too.
So when you're a beer club member and say you're just coming in here on a random, Tuesday afternoon, you get your mug.
Yeah.
And what are the other perks of being in the beer club?
Well, I mean, you get the free beer too, right? I mean, the extra,
every time you come in?
The extra several ounces, right? Because of the American versus the other one. But again, once a month, you'll also get the beer club party that we do. And then the annual membership too, which is reserved just for beer club members and wine club members too. So it's a little different.
I don't know what kind of clubs you all are in, but that sounds like a club you definitely want to be in. So there's the beer club, there's the wine club, and with the wine club, there's a little bottle. Let's see.
Jen, can we have one of your wine club just cups, please, just to demonstrate? Please.
So, for anyone that's thinking that when you join the wine club, you get an English pint. You don't, but you do get this awesome wine glass. Thank you, Jen.
What's this color called? Salmon? Coral. Okay.
So we have the wine club, and for those of you that are just listening, we have one of the one of the wines, one of the wine,
wine club. Yeah.
What do you call these things? Like a
thermos?
A tumbler. Yeah, like a wine tumbler.
Yeah.
This one specifically has a quote on it because all of them you get to put your own quote, and this one says, "I rescued wine from a bottle."
There you go.
This is a good one. Yeah. This is Kay. Thanks, Kay. We're just handling your. So the wine club members get this. The beer club members get this. What do the cocktail club members get?
Cocktail club members will still be using this right now, but we are graduating to a whole nother thing just for them because now, my favorite drink. Yeah, I mean, I love craft beer and I love dark beers. In the middle of summer, I'm drinking porters and stouts, which no one else is touching. But we're excited to be expanding our bourbon. And that is all we're trying to do. Bourbon. So we hopefully will have, 500 or 600 bottles in the next 6 months.
Okay.
So whether it's Buffalo Trace, whether it's Blanton's, whether it's an Orphan Barrel, we are going to be expanding the heck out of bourbon. We'll be starting to do we'll go back to our Whiskey Wednesdays and our bourbon flights and everything else you can think of around that topic.
I will be a proud member of the the beer club, the cocktail club, and my wife will be the wine club.
There you go. There you go. Yep.
So then you come in and you say, okay, I'm filling cocktails tonight instead of beer. You get your cocktail glass. Will it be a glass?
I think so. We're looking at a non-destructible glass, because we don't want anything that can shatter. But there's some things out there that are outrageously expensive that I'm sure Elon Musk has had a part in creating. But we'll be able to figure out some way to engrave it and customize it for yourself, right?
What a subtle shot at Elon. Okay, so it's interesting. I think of maybe like a for $8, like a little tin. I think of like a little tin cup. Like a little tin cup, or is it like actual glass?
I'd love it to be glass because we do some really awesome cocktails. We do smoked cocktails, so we have. If I'm not mistaken, 7 different types of wood, and we smoke all kinds of stuff. If you're up for a cocktail next, Jen, we can whip you up something amazing.
Okay.
She's our mixologist in house. I try pretty much everything, but yeah,
it's an important rule. Someone has to do it.
Someone has to test it. It's a dirty job, but somebody has to do it. That's what I always said. Yeah, but bourbon is part of our. It's a big trend. It's a I don't know. It's a lifestyle that a lot of people do. And we just hope to keep expanding on that drink. Yep.
Well, I like what you're doing to create that. Whose idea was this? The wine club, the beer club, the cocktail club.
Okay, so
you're the creative guy, so I'm going to assume it's you.
So I come up with 100 ideas. Gene, my business partner, will tell me like, okay, out of those 100, here's 6 that are actually viable. Because, I mean, it's not going to be like I want a Ferris wheel out there, but if it's possible, why not, right? But the beer club just came from the old English pewter cups that I've drank out of. I go to the Renaissance Festival. Do you ever go to the Renaissance Festival?
Sounds like fun though.
Yeah, it's on until the end of November. You should definitely try to go.
Where's the closest one?
It's like 35 minutes away. Yeah, as long as you dress up though. If you go with just yourself, it's not.
I mean, I'll have
fun.
to dress up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm going. We'll share the dates and we can all go together. Maybe we can make a little video on that, like
we'll
2-minute little update, right?
That'd be fun.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, we just want everybody to have fun. There's so many other things we could rented parts of the building for to make money, but it's not all about money. I mean, like we have this giant wall when you walk through towards the restroom, and it's got pictures of dogs of people that are members. That's it. Oh, one other really cool thing is that we are dropping membership charges because North Carolina all of a sudden dropped private membership rules. They didn't tell us until it was actually done. So that was really nice. But we are basically dropping any charges for any human memberships, which is awesome. I think there would be some hesitation for some people like, I don't want to spend money to join another club because you've already got your Planet Fitness, you've already got your Netflix and everything else you can imagine. But now it's only for the dogs itself. We still have a membership fee.
So the dogs need to be members.
Yeah. That's only because we also want to make sure that they're behaving well. In 2 years that we've been open, we've never had an incident outside, but it does pay for us to have bark rangers to come out, monitor the dogs, pick up any waste that wasn't picked up by the owner, make sure everybody's getting along and so forth,
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. Yeah. Well, no, there's a lot going on here, definitely. And if you haven't been to NoBel, if you haven't been to North Belmont Thirsty Social Club, it is probably 7 minutes from downtown Belmont.
I guess depending on how you drive and how many lights you hit, but 7 minutes. Yeah.
How do you drive?
The word I would use was barreling.
Okay.
Yeah. If I'm in the Hummer or the Tundra, I'm barreling through everything. But yeah, it's 5-7 minutes. It's easy.
It's not far at all. It's a great place.
Yeah.
Definitely want you to come and visit and get to experience it. And the platform is all about stories, connections, and information. So we've gotten just an ounce of your story thus far, and we're going to have more conversations in the future. But I want to close with your piece with this, and then we're going to watch Jen make a cocktail.
Okay.
And then we're going to invite Gene in. What's your vision for NoBel?
Our vision for NoBel would be to ultimately bridge downtown Belmont, Mount Holly, and the surrounding towns. You've got some big players like Old Mecklenburg Brewery coming into Mount Holly. You've got Trouse Brewery doing an amazing job. And then on the other end, you've got Primor Brewery in downtown Belmont, as well as an amazing selection of other restaurants from the Bottle Tree to Station. These are all places that you'd want to just come and have a beer, hang out with family, and just have a good time. If we can be a destination that bridges all that together, it would just make it worth it for us. Yeah.
And there's a lot of space here, obviously. So in that vision, what kind of businesses do you envision being a part of this building? You said 26,000 square feet. We're only using 5.
Yeah.
What kind of businesses would you like to see started here, and how could someone get started with you?
All I have to do is contact us, email us, click the link below. Right?
That's fine. We need a link. We'll find a link.
We'll find a link. We'll make a link below, right? But, we wouldn't want centric businesses. So whether it's a tap room, a social club where they've got duck pin bowling, for example, whether it's a distillery, a brewery, all these things, we don't look at it as competition. We look at it as just the greater good for the community.
Yeah. Okay. Duck pin bowling. There's a couple of those awesome places in Charlotte to do duck pin. Do you know how to start a duck pin bowling business? Because if you are, I'm in. I don't know. Someone
I'd love
teach us.
to do it. It was what's the damn place called downtown?
Pins.
Pins Mechanical.
Yeah.
If Pins Mechanical is watching, we'd love for you to just give me a call.
Yeah, come on out here. Yeah, no,
absolutely.
it would be. I really do see, the space. Again, if you're out here, you see there's a lot of space. There's a lot of opportunity. So some people, I have a big mindset that money is always looking for opportunity. Opportunity is always looking for money.
Yeah.
So, whatever it is that's holding you back, I really do have a heart for people that are willing to go all in if they have a vision or if they have an idea to start their business and to support their business. And so in being able to capture the stories of entrepreneurs that are doing it, that are doing it well, that are successful, that are risking it all to do it. I hope that there are some people that are listening that feel inspired to maybe start their own business one day. And, resources aren't far. I've got to spend a little bit of time with you, a little bit of time with Gene, and I'm willing to bet that you are the type of people that if someone had an idea, you'd support the vision.
I think so. We're not some big stuffy corporate white collar. We're willing to listen to a vision, and if we can help in any way, then why not? I mean, we have flexibility. That's nice to be able to do this, and we've been in the community long enough to see from where downtown Belmont, 1 in every 3 stores was occupied, to now it's completely. You can't find a space in downtown. No. So this just seems like the natural progression to move to go in this direction and to link Mount Holly. So if we can help connect all those two, and again find the right people, we get every day we get solicited by people with great businesses, and my hat's off to them, but it's just not the right fit for what we're trying to create. Like the time, if I can name drop somebody, Dave, we'll just call him Dave. I mean that is his first name, but we had some issues with a bunch of dirt that was piled up here. We needed to grade it. That's the term, right? Grade the dirt. Well, me and Gene were talking. I was like, it's going to cost this much and this much to do it. David overheard us, right? And now he lives literally right behind us. The next day he comes out. He's already on a Bobcat doing stuff. And I'm like, hey, you can't just, would you want to give us a quote? This. He's like, no, I like what you're doing for the community. Let's go ahead and let me just do this. Give me a gift certificate. We gave him a gift certificate. It's a huge gift certificate. He's never used it because he just really supports what we're doing. And that's what we love. I've got 100 stories like that, but we can do that for episode 2, 3, and 4, but it's the community's really surrounded us, and we've done so many cool things. And again, we've got areas open for if people want to do X, Y, and Z. Yeah. So I think with the live performance stage, I'm going to be the first one to coin, but we're going to do a Gaston County's Got Talent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm hoping it's going to be a ton of people with some really cool different things, and we'll see where it goes.
Yeah. Well, continue to follow Thirsty Social Club. You're on Instagram. Is that the best place to connect with you? It's an awesome Instagram page.
I think so.
Okay.
I'm not the best at social media, but yeah, I think Instagram, just our website's probably. Yeah, Instagram. Let's go with that.
Follow on Instagram. You'll get to see all the happenings out here at Thirsty Social Club. Speaking of Belmont NC happenings, she's the one that connected us. What a gift she is. Yeah. What a blessing she is, right? Yep. So, be continuing to follow it. And Jay, anything else that you want to share before we get to hear from Gene?
Oh, no, not. I mean, I think I've just rattled on enough, right? I mean, I'm sure I'll come up with some more stuff during tonight when I'm sleeping. But no. I mean, I appreciate you coming out and willing to talk with me, and I've had a good time. And we'll grab some bourbon, other, off the camera, right?
Well, what we're gonna do now? You guys stick around. We're gonna watch Jen make a cocktail.
Okay.
We're gonna take some video of that and watch Jen make a cocktail. Then we're gonna hear from Gene, and then we'll close out from there. But until then, Jay, cheers to you. Cheers to Thirsty Social Club, and thank you for what you're doing for the community. Really appreciate you.
Oh, thank you. It's a privilege. Yep.
As we take a break in the podcast, if you're watching on YouTube, we're watching Jen make a cocktail. It was a cinnamon old-fashioned. Given the season and my love for bourbon, she was so accommodating to create this for us. And I want to remind you to take some time to visit Thirsty Social. They have a full cocktail selection, liquor, wine, beer. Of course, you can bring your family, you can bring your dog, you can spend some time indoor or outdoor, fully heated patio through the winter months, and spend some time truly connecting. It's been amazing to see what Jay and Gene and the team have built to connect the community. So thank you for your hospitality. Thank you for your care for Belmont and for those in our area. And cheers to you at the Thirsty Social team. We'll see you all again very soon. Let's get to our next guest, Gene.
Well, welcome to the other half of the Thirsty Social team, Gene. Thank you so much for spending some time. One question that we didn't get to ask, how did you two even meet? And thank you for what you've done here in building a community, by the way.
So Jay and I go back probably now going on almost 12 years. So when he started Taste Buds Popcorn back in the day here in downtown Belmont, we kind of went in there. We became friends. I helped set up some of the POS and systems, getting all that stuff together for him, and we just hit it off. And so, over the years, we've looked at different endeavors and things like that, and this area just really came to fruition for us.
Okay. So did you think that in the beginning that, hey, we're going to go into business together or kind of support each other? It seems like it was a partnership from the beginning.
I think we knew that like we complement each other on the way we look at things, and so like he is very very idea oriented and like big ideas, big picture, like all of those things coming together, and I'm much more around the execution. How do we do this effectively? What does that look like over time? And then we're able to kind of strategize together to figure out, okay, what is the best thing to do for the area.
Okay, so kind of the visionary and then the integrator. That's a good combination, right? That's very good combination. So you mentioned that you did some of the IT, the POS, point of sale. Is that your primary business? Is that what you do?
No. My actual primary business is I work for Ally Financial in Uptown.
Yeah. Okay. Actually, funny enough, it's just so unrelated, but because they sponsored Charlotte FC.
That we do, yep.
I was like, oh, I love Charlotte FC now. Because again, community, didn't love soccer before, loved it now, and went and bought a vehicle, and I got my financing through Ally because of the sponsorship.
That's awesome.
I felt like if I'm going to give my money anywhere, I want to give it to this.
That's right. And I mean, I could go on for hours about Charlotte FC and what it's done for the town and, you know, the city of Charlotte and everything. It's just phenomenal. And Ally is just a magnificent organization to sponsor them.
Well, you know, no free ads, but hey, Ally, if you want to support building Belmont, then by all means, you know, I'll wear Ally on my chest too.
That's right.
But no, that's really interesting. So you work, you know, corporately.
Yes.
You know, I think that's a good name for it. But being on the side of the entrepreneurship, what encouraged you to want to get into entrepreneurship or building businesses? Because, you know, truthfully, I don't think you have to. Obviously, you know, starting a business in December of 2020, that is a lot of stress and heartache there, but you're still here and you're still looking to bring this vision that you have to NoBel. So why entrepreneurship?
I think actually, especially even in finance, which I'm in, like entrepreneurship still is the key. Like we're always looking for areas to evolve and grow and develop our teams, all of our folks. And I think having that mindset of let's look outside the kind of the box or the window that we're in, really what brings it together. So this was kind of really an evolution of that. Like how do we look and say, okay, we've got an area out here we're looking at in North Belmont. We know it's an untapped market, and just saying like what can we truly do for the community. I mean, that's what we're about. And so trying to figure that out and bring it together took a lot of work and effort, but it's starting to pay off for sure.
Well, starting to pay off now. We mentioned earlier the brand change from Thirsty Dog Social to Thirsty Social. You know, there's a lot of iterations that have happened within that. So with it coming to not to fruition, it's obviously right now a successful business. Ultimately, you know, what has been your favorite part of seeing Thirsty Social get going over the last few years?
I think my favorite part is just really seeing the folks come together, like meeting so many different new people in the area, folks that are like, oh, I've been in Belmont for 20 years and coming out and meeting them. And then folks who moved here a month ago, and like combining all of that together with different demographics is just, it's really what the key is out here.
I hear a common theme, and I heard this with Jay earlier, is community. Why does that matter to you?
I think it matters for so many different things, but more importantly, it's what is the building block of everything. So like if you don't have the community and you don't have the support there that's needed, nothing is going to move in the right direction. Like we made it a point to say like we're here to help this community grow, help this community evolve. What does that look like? And so even the input on the building and with the neighbors all around us and all of those things, we were very upfront. We went to all of them. We spoke with them about the building and the unit and what our ideas were, and just got feedback. And I think Jen will tell you, or Jay will tell you as we go through this, like I'd say the bulk of our customer base is within right now probably 5 to 10 miles of here.
Wow.
So yeah, it's really good.
Well, you know, you definitely decided to be pioneers. You are pioneers of NoBel. Did you have some input on the name NoBel?
I will, like, again, back to Jay, that we went around with so many different names for the areas and things like that, and like a truly a play on NoDa and things like that. So it really came together with NoBel being the prize.
What were some of the names, if you can share, that you know found the cutting room floor?
I'm trying to remember. I'll probably have to get back with some of those, but I think some of the ones we were at were we were talking about NoBel, like BLE. So just that was another play on it. I I think we talked about, we had one that started with the Belmont. So like, I'm trying to remember. It was an acronym we were using for the name,
Okay.
But I'll definitely get you that information.
NoBel, I really, it did grow on me, and Jay shared that with me the first time that we got to sit down and have a beer together, and ever since then it's been NoBel to me.
Oh yeah.
So the area, obviously, in being able to bring something like this to the area and continue to have the role that you do, what is your vision for NoBel?
So my vision really is probably holistically, how do we, right now this area truly is a destination. Like, you've got to kind of know about it, you got to hear about it to come out here. I think over time, rather than be even a secondary destination, it becomes a primary. Like, do we have enough things built up around here for that community to draw people in and say, hey, we can spend all day out there. And like, we're doing things like an art market, like we're doing a ton of things with, we're talking about doing like a starving artist display and things like that, where we have it like with some of the units we have here, we've talked about opening that up for art, truly like letting people come in at a very, very, very low cost and just, being an art space where they can come in and folks can look and evolve with that. So
why is it important to give people that space to express their art and really their gifting and their business ultimately?
I think for us, it's because it doesn't really exist around here a lot. There's not a lot of that, and there's so much creativity out here in the environment. Not just here in Belmont, but in the surrounding areas. When you look at Belmont and Mount Holly and McCaddenville and Stanley and like all of the different areas around here, and that's not even taking Charlotte into account, to saying, oh my gosh, like there are spaces there. Sure, there's a ton of environments down there, but some of it is very cost prohibitive for folks to get into. So how do we make that much more inviting for folks to come in and do some of that?
Well, I think that's really special. Again, I have obviously a bias or a passion towards entrepreneurs and helping them to share their business. It goes so far when you can bring a customer to somebody. You can remove some of those roadblocks to help them get going, right? So for artists especially, that's something that honestly, I really hope that you guys do get to open up at least part of a gallery.
Yeah.
But you really remind me a lot of Michelle Lusardo. Have you met her with Belmont Yoga?
Oh, no, I have not.
It's a connection. Shout out Belmont Yoga. We're going to have to draw this
Yes.
connection in her lobby of her yoga studio there in downtown Belmont. She has a lot of different products that are mostly from local makers, as she called them. I got that word from her, makers, right? Because I'm like, what do you call someone that, created some kind of drink or whatever? It's not an artist, but it is. So she said makers. And so I think there's definitely a lot of synergy there. We'll make the connection.
We will, like any connections we can make in the area with the different groups is phenomenal. I mean, I think we are truly trying to build a bridge between our group here, out here, and downtown Belmont. It's a beautiful community. It's wonderful. How do we get that kind of, if you will, cross-pollination of teams and so forth?
Well, that bridge, and all of you listening from Belmont or otherwise are in the area, but that bridge, it might as well be sometimes the Atlantic Ocean. Like, oh, we don't go that way or what have you. But I mentioned earlier, 7 minutes from downtown Belmont. So there's plenty of reasons to come up here. The volleyball, the beer club, the wine club, the cocktail club. By the way, thank you again, Jen, for the cocktail. There's so much to come up here and to experience. And so if you were talking to someone and they were saying, Gene, why should I go visit you at Thirsty Social? Like, what would you tell that person? What comes to mind?
I think the first thing I would tell them is just the atmosphere out here. Come out and explore the community, explore what we have to offer. Obviously you can bring a dog, certainly open to that, but you don't need to have a dog. Like, truly come out and experience like the friends around you, the things that we have with the food and the volleyball and just the outdoor areas that we have. And I don't know if Jay mentioned it, but as it gets cooler out here, like we've got probably the largest, if not the largest, outdoor seating area in all of Gaston County.
Yeah.
Literally have this out here, and it's all heated out there, and really? It's phenomenal. Just sit out there and experience it, have a drink, watch some TV, watch some games, things like that.
Yeah.
So
speaking of games, is there anything you do on Sundays for the football games?
So we do full on NFL Sunday tickets. So we have all the games on. We typically will put sound on for the Panthers game as best we can.
What about the Cowboys?
They're definitely on the radar and on the map.
They're
so
on the smallest TV over there in the corner.
They're back in the corner, yeah. But go back there, you'll be fine. But yeah, we have some dedicated fans that come in every week just to watch a certain game. And so because of the televisions we have, we show pretty much every game out there.
Well, I'll tell you what, Sunday, when I'm going out to watch a game, Thirsty just became my go-to spot. So I'll be out here for sure.
That's phenomenal, yeah.
Well, again, back to, I just can't, you and Jay will not let me escape community. Everything is about bringing people together. Every question I try to ask, we get back to community. And, there's something to be said about that. The times that I've come here, I don't want to leave. I mean, right now we're recording. It is 6 p.m. on a Monday evening. And, my wife is like, where are you? What's going on? She knows where I'm at. I don't want to leave because you guys create this environment. So I can't help but feel, I want to feel what that looks like when there's dozens of people in here. Because again, the ownership, the entrepreneurs, their heart is represented in their staff. And then that's represented in their patrons. So I can't help but imagine what this feels like when you have a bar full here.
It is something to definitely be seen and felt. I think I owe all the credit, and we owe all the credit to the staff. I mean, they are really what make Thirsty what it is. And so I think that's obviously a reflection of Jay and I, but it's not Jay and I. It is truly them that really come together around our patrons and everyone that's out here.
Well, Gene, thank you so much for having us, for allowing us to come in and have a couple of drinks. Cheers.
Cheers.
To Thirsty Social Club. Anything that we've missed in our time together that you might want to add?
No, I think for us, it's just, getting the word out, really getting the word out about NoBel and Thirsty, just getting it out there.
Well, come out and have a drink, and you never know, you might end up leaving, starting a business. I mean, entrepreneurship is infectious. So thank you all for joining us for another episode of Building Belmont, and we'll meet you here at Thirsty Social Club for a drink. Become a member of the wine club, the beer club, the cocktail club, and remember, if you say Building Belmont sent you, Jay said it, it's 20% off your membership.
See, this is the big idea piece.
Yes. Well, I'll sponsor that. I'll sponsor a couple of those. But yes, again, where else do you get this English pint? I'm looking at Jay across the bar. I can't believe that America has a smaller pint than England, but you can find it here at Thirsty Social Club. So make sure that you come out and visit and give NoBel some love, and we'll see you on the next episode. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Noah. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of the Building Belmont podcast. I'm your host, Keanu Trujillo, reminding you to subscribe, rate, and review on your favorite podcast platform. Be sure to like and subscribe if you're watching us on YouTube. And of course, share with a friend, share with a neighbor. We'll see you again next week as we capture more stories, create more connection, and share more information here on the Building Belmont podcast.